All right, welcome back, welcome back. We are getting ready to venture off into our first segment for the morning. It's already a lot of fun as these guys got in and got mic'd up. In with us is none other than Yasser Musa, of course, who is an artist, and of course, Leroy Grandmaster Young, who is a poet as well. It's Lab4, Poets of Pink's Alley Project. Guys, the energy is wonderful. It's a great feeling. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
You know, I could just listen to him in his mind already, saying something and making some sort of a poem because of that. Good morning, Grandmaster. How are you?
Buenas morning.
There you go.
Half and a half. How am I? Let me see. I'm alive, kicking and healthy, you know.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
The first time being on your show and like, whoa, you might know, but you're one of my favorite personalities.
Oh, thank you.
Good way to open up.
No, right? Like a blush leaving.
All right. No, but it's a pleasure, man, and thanks to Yasser Musa for being there for me. Anyway.
We are so happy you decided to come and glad that you accepted the invitation. And I want to start off because, Grandmaster, your work, I think, is something that I can still envision some of the poetry that I have seen you perform. I've seen clips. And you are such an iconic poet in this country and spoken some very powerful words as well. Yasser, let me start with you for a second, because when the release first went out regarding the DVD, I think one of the statements that you made was talking about celebrating an artist while they can still dance with us. And I think, you know, why are we not doing this enough? So it's been a while, but why at this point are we taking the time to be able to put this work out and celebrate the work, of course, of Grandmaster?
Well, for three reasons. The first one is that Katie Usher, the artist, started her Lab4, which you mentioned at the beginning. For 4 years, since 2014, she has been spending 2 weeks in the summer where every day at the Image Factory she has invited various artists to just spend 24 hours inside the gallery. So on the 11th of July, which was Tuesday, she organized the celebration of the Grandmaster's life. But it was coinciding with a project he and I have been working on called the Poet of Pink's Alley, which is completed, and we managed to complete it for that celebration. And that moment was incredible. I was at the airport yesterday and I heard some taxi men saying, "Boy, you see Grandmaster, I'm going to cry up on TV last night," because it was a very emotional moment for him.
Yeah.
And if we can get some time today, I would love to chronicle how it all began and how we reached this point, 2017, with this celebration, because really we have in our midst a poet of unmatched skill and lyrical elegance that has touched so many lives across this country and internationally as well.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great way to start talking to you, Grandmaster. You know, let's just talk about where this all started for you.
We start from the heart, if nothing will fall apart. Well, the thing start like when I was a kid anyway, you know. There was this stuff that ingrained in me, especially when I was going to primary school and they say, write one short story or something. And all the kids then call to me for write something for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't write one thing for everybody, so I had to diverse that story for you, that story for you. And they follow me through, even when I wash up dishes. Even when I wash up dishes for my mom, and the pots then I take the pot spoon, bang, 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 and I had to sing. And then I used to go up on children cavity fighter show when it was the Radio Belize and everything there. And then it went on to high school. And when I came out, I used to do the rapping first, me, Kenny Morgan, first grade school. You know, and after that, I took the wrong road. You know, I went real down low. And ended up the watch car front Radisson Fort George. And on Fridays, I usually got like $150 to $200 after 5. That Friday, I only had $5 in my pocket. And I got to myself, boy, what are the problem? And it's coming back so vividly to me right now. It's out along Lard Bucket, greasy tamales, blow and stop right in front of me. And I pick up a little piece of pencil like this. And I sharpen that pencil on the wall, great house wall. And I start to write, I call it my thoughts. I don't know about poetry then. What is the problem? Who is the problem? Why is there a problem? You see the problem that this, problem thy own problem. And it just started, and Jules Vasquez was there one time in Majestic Alley, documenting a mural at Gilvano Drive. I said, boy, Grandmaster, come rap for this your neighborhood, come rap. I tell I no rap again, I'm a poet, not no go so. And lights, camera, action, and I perform that, and that's where you kick off from. You know, and that's how I started on Channel 7, thanks to Jules Vasquez. People was say, fly home for the news, you know, for watch Grandmaster, where I have to say at the end.
Yeah.
And that tell me, well, I got something here, hold on to it, and this is where we're at now.
Grandmaster, you know, like Yasser mentioned, hearing the taximan saying that you watch Grandmaster and they cry on the TV. Emotions, where did that emotion came from? Where did it come from?
The emotion, I don't usually cry, man, but the emotion was just the feeling and the understanding now that it slapped me in my face. People really they appreciate this thing.
Yeah.
People really they recognize. People really get a sense of, look here, man, we can't make this happen to this young boy, I mean this old boy. Only the Leroy, you can't make this happen. And, you know, people like Yasser, and he's a magnet to a lot of people too, not only artists. It's his personality. When you get close to him, he drive you in, and it gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of purpose.
If things didn't change for the worse for you, do you think that you would have been here? Where do you think you would have been?
6'6", or the back of cold bed, do some big time, you know. And sometimes when I get real upset and thing, I stay focused. You don't know focus, clear the fungus from within us, and and yeah, just stay focused. And when I get frustrated, I pick up the pen.
You know, the reason why I asked that question is because, because a lot of people would think that because something went wrong for them, it's the end of the road. And I can remember last week's eye opener, whereby we spoke about, you know, some of these things, that not because something bad happened to you, it means that that's the end of the road.
Yeah.
It simply means that that's the road you should take to eventually appreciate where life is from. So that's where I got my question from. Now, what do you say to people who actually are living right now in that negative, and at the same time they can't see the light at the end of the road?
Oh, let me tell you first. The establishment where Lee bits and ends. I deal with a lot of people pass through the door. And I have somebody I could read your personality if you go through that door. I know if you're upset, if you're stressed out, if you rip up, bust up, tear up. And I sit down there, and the first thing when I go serve them, then tell them problem. The only thing I'm needing at that place there right now that one of them are called to become a real a certified therapist or a psychiatrist. So. And I listen to the problem, and I said to myself, if I want to know where I gone through, want to tell me about that or nothing. And I sit down and I talk to them and I make the do. That's up to you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like take that beating, you are dwell upon the negativity and you are take what beating. But it's up to you for pick yourself, dust off yourself, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and most of all, spiritually.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Once you wake up and say, amen, thank you, God, you have got a nice day.
You know, there are a lot of people out there who are not able to detect that they've got some good work going on as an artist or as a poet. How can somebody detect that within themselves? You're an artist, he's a poet. How do you detect these things?
That's a good question, and I could probably explain it in terms of how he and I connected and started to collaborate, which our collaboration is now 20 years.
Wow.
In 1997, which is 20 years ago, he brought this to me, and this is a handwritten set of poems. He calls them thoughts, but I have saved them they're all his writing, and if he ever wants them back, of course he can have them. But I am hoping that one day we have a proper place, a proper archive to store it. But so when he brings this to me, I remember clearly reading the work, that this is something that when I read any other poet from any other country, there is no difference. So to me, his global presence was there. And what do I mean by global presence? I don't mean him going on CNN or Al Jazeera. What I mean is that he has been able to be within the root of a society's consciousness and elevate that root and spring blossoms of thoughts and ideas, which is the responsibility of a true artist. And from this manuscript, he doesn't like when I use that term, but that's what it is. We published right in front of the mural he spoke about in Pingsali in 1999, this book called Made in Pingsali, and I put it in a manila. This was how it was published, and this was the cover, so that's how he looked way back when, as he would say.
You hold it up next to your face?
Yes.
It wasn't me.
This is a real Leroy Young. And then right after that, because this we printed I think 1,000 copies and it sold in less than a month, which is an unprecedented thing for any kind of publication in Belize.
Right.
And so right after that, in the same year, because this is 1999, this is 1999, in the same year we published Generation X, and these are all new poems he had written since the first manuscript. And then if I could just spend a couple moments chronicling what happened after that. In 2003, he collaborated with Stone Tree Records, Ivan Duran, and they published this, Just Like That, which by any standard, this is probably the most incredible public record of a poet in this country in terms of, one, it is his voice, accompanied by all kinds of musicians in the background. And I think this is one of the things that really catapulted his name into the song space. And that's something very important to understand about him, because I always think of the Grandmaster as, like when you say AD and BC, right? We have had poetry in Belize before the Grandmaster and after the Grandmaster. He is a signpost. Before the Grandmaster, most of us thought of a poem or a poet as an unseen, unheard piece of paper inside of a book. It's whether it's in class, whether it is on CXC or wherever. You don't see the poet. After the Grandmaster, it's a living, breathing, inspiring, uplifting phenomenon. And so right after that, just for, like that, we published the Grandmaster, the best of the dub works. And then this book called Poets Are Us, he then started to work with young high schoolers and coach them, mentor them. And one, Brihida Halak, is inside this book, and she performed on Tuesday. And now she's a well-known artist, and if you speak to her, she will say he is an inspirational force. And then a publisher from out of New York published Unshackled. And then in 2010, we published the Grandmaster Remix. And finally, I know time is up. We reached the Grandmaster Poet from Pinks Alley. And I have to acknowledge Rick Romero, who works here, because in 2002, he and I recorded the Grandmaster, and we have all his recordings, as you can see on the screen. That's one of the examples, the 23 poems that he speaks. In addition to that, we have on this DVD a 45-minute interview about his life, kind of similar to what he just described in 5 minutes, but it took I don't know how it took so long. Marlene,
you knew the details to delve into.
So maybe before we leave, we could show the 3-minute clip that that we produced for that.
As a teaser, the teaser?
Yeah.
Now, you know, I appreciate when you talk about the transition that took place from a piece of written poetry to a performance. And what I think, especially when we hear you deliver one of your poems, is how thought-provoking it is, and how there is a very obvious emotional connection to what you're saying. Your work is not just, and we have some beautiful poems about Belize, but yours is social commentary. It's the real life. It's what you see. It's what sometimes we want to close our eyes to, but you still find a way to be able to deliver it that we want to pay attention. Where does this come from for you? Is it just natural that the first thing you want to be able to speak about is what is happening in the country?
Yep, they say the environment shape, you know, but I they shape the environment. And growing up in Majestic Alley, Pink Salad, and you know, nothing nice. And so instead of like taking it out of somebody like physically and anything, I do it with lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, and I could start write one poem, out of that one poem I end up to write 5 poems. You know, so that things that happen every minute of the day, and at the end of the day when I go home I got them store up in my memory bank and I just book. By the time I finish, like the sun the rays 5 o'clock in the morning. So that from the soul, that from the heart, and it goes straight down to the paper.
Yeah.
But whatever I put up here, all them poems I got, no Y2K, bug nor mind altering drug erase. You know? And I tell a lot of the young kids, never make them get in here, or never make them get up here, or take away with the up here or in here, or rest on our lose. And that way got me here tonight. Today I mean.
Too much lights.
That's what have me here tonight.
Yeah.
Today and you know, because they can't get in here and up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them up on lap.
Do you have a favorite poem that you've written ever so long to know? And if so, can you recite it for us?
Then I win, but no, I no say how. Then when we had land order, but no, I no say how. Then when Creole me work together, when me the love and help with neighbor, but no, I no say how. Then think me alright. They never all this tight, no, and then you neighbor quarrel and fight, but no, tea then a tea a quarrel. Then you could have go anyway, walk the street night or day without fear, but now you there. Now you have to the bolt down the door and lock up your window to live in a house like a virtual prisoner. Then we never had TV. We had Eden, Palace, Majestic and Bel Ray with Catch Martini. Kung Fu with Jimmy Wang Yulo, Sahu Cheng Cheng and Bruce Lee. But now you got HBO, this oh. Then pick never dip on the street late that drink tea people and get your bed by 8 straight, but no. Pick never on the street, worse than stray dog. Then on the police and soldier, they carry weapon now. Everybody got one, from the judge to the nun down to the preacher man. Crips and blood, the gangbang. Belizean, the murder Belizean. Drugs, the flow for all direction. We all want to turn American. The country look to get take over from the Guatemalan. Look how far we are, even the church after they put on burglar bar star. Then I win, but no, I no say how.
Wow.
So even that poem, which was written in the 90s, right? Still, when you listen to it, has a complete 2017 ring.
Yeah.
And that's one of the strengths of this kind of poetry, which is timeless. No?
Yeah.
It is so rooted in the society.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why is that your favorite poem?
Love. Now tell me something, love. What is the meaning? Is it an excuse some people use to abuse someone? Love. Is it a human emotion used in certain situations to avoid confrontation? Love. Is it used as they try to disguise their lies as time fly by? If love is that great, how come some people deteriorate to a state that makes them love to hate? For me, love comes from deep within and above. So when push comes to shove, Grandmaster now got nothing but love. Love, where does it begin? Where does it end? Could it be borrowed or lent to a friend? Is it flexible so as to bend? Is it feasible so as to spend? Does it have a quantity? How much? Could it be touch as such? But wait, there is no love if you don't have faith. Check Daniel in the lion den, make I tell you again. For me, love comes from deep within and above. So when push comes to shove, I don't got nothing more love.
I'm fucking man.
I swear.
It's how easily it just rolls off your tongue.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are poems that you've done quite a number of years ago. Have you put together anything new recently?
Just when I think we get over the hump, clean up the dump, rise out the slump, here comes Donald Trump.
Let's get that one on CNN.
Can't fool with asphalt. Yep. Yeah, I got a lot more that you know, I don't work on it. I just write it. I just need for like.
Yeah.
You know?
We've been in discussion, and I told him maybe by, I mean, it's difficult to say when, but definitely by 2019, we're hoping Image Factory to publish a book about his work, which will involve both his works, poems, as well as his story, as well as images, and a more advanced DVD. Because I really feel that we need to focus our energy on how do we translate what we have into, for example, a educational setting, because there's no more powerful literature than what we just witnessed in the past 20 minutes. No? And if you speak to school children, they will tell you how boring that subject is, because it's not live, it's not real to them. And he is a great example of making literature real.
Now, you know, I think when people see artists like you, they think that this is and it is, a unique quality or talent that you possess. But I didn't miss that Yasser spoke about working with younger artists. What is the experience like having the younger artists come to you and helping them to learn to come into their own?
That's a good one, but for me, that's one of my main objectives. To have turn to something, to have them knowing that they got this talent then.
Yeah.
But then they got a talent, they consume them. They know they bring out the talent. And I make them know, you gotta stay focused, of course. Believe in yourself. Right where you know, right where you feel, Shantiga. Right where you sit. But most of all, right where you know is right. You know, and I sit down and I talk to them, and by the time they finish, when we have a discussion, or if I go lecture at SJC or anyone at primary school, when I meet them again, they're like, Grandmaster, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I tell them, no, thank me, you know, thank yourself.
Yeah.
Thank yourself, because everything there within yourself. You know, but if you got it bottled up and when it explode, well, for some of them, it explode. You know, and it's a great feeling, man. To see, especially the night of this launching, to see so many and the poets there in that room there, and they tell you, boy, that's you make them start this thing. I tell you, no, see, it can be, you know, and you know, a jump start, you know, and the rest are up to them.
Yeah.
And away down the train track, you could add carriage, and the thing come big, just like this.
Yeah.
You know,
Now,
so-
your DVD documentary is called Poets from Pinks Alley. And I think that we don't necessarily recognize that today Pinks Alley or Majestic Alley isn't what it used to represent before. And it's important because a lot of times in this society we typecast people based on where they come from. And you being such a talented artist coming out of what we knew as Majestic Alley at the time is such an important part of your story. So when you hear of the young boys or girls from any part of this country now that we talk about, whether we're talking about St. Martin's area, if you talk about George Street, if you talk about some of the so-called hotspots in the country, what's your advice to them about what they can become?
Earlier I mentioned they said the environment shape you.
Yeah.
Well, I shape the environment, you know. And that up to the person and up to the individual, because it's tough for I raise out and I still there, you know. But for come out a situation like that, number one, you know, stop the ball from the politician and the politician and the politician. Because the politician got to do in the situation. Number two, if you don't build a cage around yourself and you don't give the politician the key, you know, get left in that cage. You know, never throw away your key or give nobody your key. The key to life. And up to the individual, because they get a lot of opportunity to hear about this program, that the program, and who also who are lasting at the program and who are really interested for get a jump start out of which part they live. And my brother, I can't speak for them, I tell you the truth. So I could speak for myself. You know, that up to the individual, especially in a situation like their neighborhoods or their hot spot, so they call it. Their spot no hot. Their spot no hot. That the people make the spot hot.
Yeah.
For example, right now, Majestic Holiday in the tourism zone start. Millions of dollars they pass them. Millions of dollars they pass them. I mean, neighborhood, I love them. You know, millions of dollars they pass them. Who you think got the stalls and the this and the that? About 2 or 3 of them for two them. While the rest of them stand up on the lane, they do nothing start. You know, millions they pass through them. Millions they pass their hand and they just won't get it. They're up to them. They're up to them.
You know, Grandmaster, a lot of folks might think that your first name is Grand and your last name is Master. Leroy Green. Where did you get the Grandmaster? Where did that come from?
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. I know I lose it neither.
You see, what that question you asked is important because we became independent in 1981 when hip-hop became a global force.
Yeah.
So we and hip-hop were born. Obviously, hip-hop was earlier, but we had a road to independence the same way hip-hop had a road from out of the 60s into independence, 1980s. But Houdini, the group that had a song named Friends in 1983. Yes, he had that song in his head, and as a boy, he walked to Bird's Isle one night with his family and fans at the time, and he challenged Kenny Morgan, who was the reigning rapper.
Yeah.
Remember, now Belize is becoming infested with the hip-hop rapping world as well, right? And he challenged and won that night, and he became the Grandmaster.
Oh,
that's when they branded him, and they joined with him, the Fresh Breeze crew, and they used to crash parties and just show up and take over the party.
Take over the whole thing, you know. Yes. It was fun. It was fun. I mean, we ride on
Nobody
bicycle.
never chase you away.
No, we ride on bicycle and boy, we hear music by Morgan or graduation party. They go to
Let's go.
all the mic and everybody forget about graduation. Have different parties start when we reach in there, you know? And it started from then, man, and the only way the lady said, boy, anytime I see you, they talk, I tell her that the whole I breathe, my mouth and my lungs, my mouth and my heart. So if it close, I dead. You know, and I'll keep on going, man, and thanks for the support of everybody, whoever buy or support me in any which way. I want to tell them thanks. And for all the people that have schemed and those that I'm dreaming of scheming, my apologies.
You know, I like that.
I think we need a resurgence of this Fresh Breeze.
we do need that because you know it's important to bring these things back, and it pushed me directly to once again our eye opener, where every person that passes through our lives make a contribution to our life story. And we just made mention of Kenny Morgan.
Yeah.
And that night when Kenny was up there at the Bird's Isle and you came there, if that didn't happen, then no Fresh Breeze crew.
Yeah.
What does this mean to you, Grandmaster?
Well, if you don't know me by now, you don't know me again. When they slam the door in my face, I do I look, kick down the door because something have to happen for me.
Yeah.
Something have to happen. And if it never happen, I don't know when it happen then. And they come and lady say, boy, Grandmaster, here what happen? I tell her what? When it happen? Who it happen? Why it happen? For where it happen? No, here what happen? I talk to her right now and I still don't know what happened. That what happened. You know? Something just happened.
Let me ask you something, because I know people at home.
Yeah.
Do you just come up with everything right on the spot?
Yeah. That will happen.
Because that's like jazz music, right?
Yeah.
Jazz music is a very formal music in the mind.
Yeah.
That's why I always say these things have to be taught to people.
Yeah.
Some of us are born with it like him, but it can be taught. The same way jazz taught us in the early part of the 20th century that if you formalize your musicianship, meaning you learn to play an instrument so well as he taught himself and learned to use his voice so well, when the moment arrives, which is called improvisation, there's a whole comedy world out there because of that, and that's called spontaneity. Those are the two ingredients of creativity. So we can't be saying creativity, they have to be creative. You have to understand that these things can be taught. But you have to be able to master something so that at any moment now, he can then put himself, his artistic self in that moment, in that life's moment, and be spontaneous and improvise. That's what we see today. He's a master improvisationalist.
Yes.
Just like that.
I thought another one was coming to us.
Brace yourself, brace
The more
yourself.
I can get, the better.
I hear you.
No, but what happens from here? That's my most, coming into this conversation, I'm a huge fan, and I think coming into this conversation, I love the fact that we're celebrating what you have contributed. But my biggest question is, what happens now? Do we document all that has taken place so far? And you mentioned the book as well, that is in the pipeline. But how do we ensure that we see more and hear more and that you inspire more?
Well, two things from my perspective. One, he's a part of a group, Square Peg, that I am really hoping, it's a small performance group, a theatrical group, small amount of actors, organized by Mr. Hipólito Bautista Sr.
Yeah.
And we are trying to get that group into high school to perform live so that young people can see that there is an alternative, not alternative fake news, but an alternative to electronic life, because that's their life, which is fine. But if they see things live, that has never failed, because they've always gravitated to that. So we're hoping to organize a road show of that theatrical group to go to different schools. That's one thing. The second thing is this book. But the book, I want to design it in a way that's pedagogical, that has lessons in it, lesson plans in it. So a teacher, anywhere in primary or secondary, could open it up and teach children using the Grandmaster as the example. His voice, the way his mannerism, that's why the video is so key. And the way he constructs and sets up his lyrics, right? Because it's very formalized.
Yeah.
We say it's informal because he's spontaneous and because, he comes from Belize, but it's a very formalized way of organizing your thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And I strongly believe this, that if a book attached with a DVD with him being invited to different schools and engaging in teachers, he can really be a trainer of teachers, right? He's a master, not just of poetry, he's a pedagogical master.
Yeah, he is.
But our education system wants paper. But now I can say that's why we have paper now. This is bigger, more paper than any doctorate degree. There's so many people with doctorate degrees and they do nothing, right? But this is living doctorate work.
What you've done for the mental, for a lot of people, it's significant. It touches that. There's one poem I've got in my mind, which of course
Maybe you can recite it.
I think so.
It's actually a promo from where I used to be,
Yeah.
and I could recite it.
He know it.
And it goes like this: thanks for choosing love,
Love
love
entertain.
entertain, educate, love keep you up to date straight, love inform, cuddly and warm, love
You gotta remember it.
love is what's going on. Up here, love 95.1 FM. Make I tell you again, love done nothing but love. Thanks.
For choosing love.
And with the voice too.
Who should Channel 5 send the bill to?
I was gonna say.
The reason
Now
why
you have to teach John one more child, right?
no, the reason why it sticks to me is because not
Yes,
because
yes.
of what it says.
Yes.
It stick out because of the way, to me, how I envision what he's saying and how he's saying it. And that is the reason why I could relate to it, because that's how I feel.
Not more love.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And it's not because of where it was, it's because of love.
Yeah.
Love got more love than love have to come to we so love. I love you. And I just want to stick one thing concerning the Square Peg. Couple months ago, about 3 or 4 months ago, we did a play with Square Peg, Mr. Bautista and the crew from Belmopan, Miss Beverly, and we did it at George Price Auditorium. Oh man, it was awesome. Awesome. The title was Square Peg. And when he came to Belize, he looked for me and he gave me the talk and he gave me the manuscript. The lead actor was a poet. And I read the first 3 pages and tell him about them. Of course I will accept this because this manuscript will not give me my life story, just right there. And when we hit Belmopan running, my boy, it wasn't fun. It wasn't easy, but damn it fun. You know? I mean, if you say, you could imagine the impromptu with Ghana, and the lady asked me, boy, I hope you don't go, do not know to the way. I tell her, no, mama, I can't even kill a roach. And the roach come on the stage, and I jump up on the stage, and I do some. I can't kill a roach, and the auditorium erupt. You know? The auditorium erupt. So Belmopan, they come again.
Yeah.
You know?
You travel this entire country with poetry.
Yes.
What's your poem about the country?
Set Belize free. Now here this one, they say free the nation. For what? That's the question. Then they talk about hope. We're still walking on a tight rope. Set Belize free. For what? You tell me. I'm still in suspense with this political independence nonsense. We want to be free culturally, ethnically, religiously, most of all financially. We must take a new course, not with violence nor brutal force. Make use of what we got the most. Human being, the country natural resource. Set Belize free from what? You tell me. More jobs are what we need. We must nurture the children, the country future seed. Empower the youth with education, tools and skills so they don't have to rob, murder, shoot nor kill. It's not God's will. Set Belize free from what? You tell me. Everything there.
So tell us about Tuesday night.
Tuesday night was awesome. And
But
usually,
it was Tuesday the
It
day.
was Tuesday during the day, sorry.
Day,
Yeah.
day,
It was
day,
dark.
day.
It was
We're
dark.
mixing up
Yeah,
days and
yeah,
nights
yeah.
here today. I don't know.
Time is
yeah, for the essence.
Yeah.
Well, I think if I could
Yeah.
say again, thanks to Katie for organizing that,
Yes.
and her lab is really a sensational thing. And also thanks to the poets that perform, Soul Chat, Lemuel Roberto, Sean
K.O.
Tega, K.O. the Assassin, Kieran Gabriel, did an amazing tribute poem to the Grandmaster. We're hoping that could be made into a video. It's really a well done poem. Miss Sue, a mate, she gave an her name is Ellen Joseph.
Yeah.
And Brahida Haylock. Those are the poets that performed that night, that day. And it was a packed room. This is the image of Grandmaster crying, and Katie had to come up and give him some comfort. That's what the two taxi men at the airport were amazed with. But it was really a great morning. Those are the poets right there with Katie, and Mr. Bautista is on our left. Tuesday was now where I'm reach to a point, you know, like where I'm say, well, I just want to do what I have to do and I didn't care. But Tuesday make I understand that I care now.
Yeah.
I care now and I okay now and I okay forever. Okay? And it was, like I say, it gave me a sense of purpose now that I'm okay. All this is beautiful. The recognition, we understand the recognition, but just that I know I'm not going out like, no disrespect, like Mr. Peters up to the Selly album front of Boo Max and Boo this and that place. They are not going out. I just not going out sudden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went out with a bang, take off. You know, and the people in places like the minister was to have culture and we need for take care of our artists. We need to take care of our artists. Yasser mentioned our heritage fund for building. We can't eat building, restore the building. Yes, historical, but we can't eat building. You know what I'm saying? And they're supposed to be a platform for all artists. So we look on Titiman. Titiman, look on Tony Wright. You know? People like them are supposed to the girl, at least type in, me just type in then, or something for keep them alive, for keep them float, because all the 3 persons I mentioned, they internet practically shut down.
Yeah.
You know? And nobody really remember or I'm not going out like that, my brother. And enough fair, because all them people are kind of stone. You know, and I'm not going out that way.
You're going to bang.
Believe you me.
Take off.
Incoming.
All right, so of course, we want to find out. We have that. I want to get the clip ready. You said there's a clip in terms of the. I know we got to take some time to get it ready. But tell us about where people can get the DVD.
Well, from him, he's his
about
own store.
Yeah, the walking store, DVD, you know, could call me or come in at my office or whatever, and my number at 6514292, and go to Image Factory, Gilvano Sweet, I did him.
Yeah.
That's his agent.
That's my agent.
What a combination.
You could imagine, right?
Every time I step foot in the tractor, I say, okay.
Yeah, you know, and you know, the support will be highly appreciated. As you know, I still try to recover, get back on foot, on a fire and thing.
Yeah.
So any contribution they could, you know, just man, you know, and I'm hoping to do some more release. Not hoping, but things they in the pipeline. Things will happen. Things will still happen. And thank you for this present today. You know what I mean? And
well, thank you. We are so glad that you accepted coming on the show and sharing a bit of your story. We do have the trailer ready now for the DVD, so let's take a quick look at that before we wrap it up, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please fasten your seatbelt. We are about to take off. Definitely we encounter turbulent and controversial poetry. So welcome to my world. Leroy Young, aka Grandmaster, the Bin Laden of poetry in Belize. You see, my poetry is the big lie that make them see the truth. How come? How come when you need help, you can't get on? How come when you need police, none of the wrong? How come you struggle to rise up, and you're easily brought down? How come? How come? How come the majority live in poverty, and the minority so wealthy? How come they're so plenty, and I can't get any? How come people go see fire? And when it rain, they run for shelter. How come most teenagers are prisoners? How come there are so many single parent mothers? How come there's no respect for law and order? How come? How come? How come we prefer cater to stranger and they say blood thicker than water? How come there's so many questions and just a few answers? What is the matter? How come there's no love, no trust? How come there's all this chaos among us? One day the bucket gonna well the bottom of a bus. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. How come so many kids are not in school? How come people like try to take you for fool? How come we like block each other's way? How come we like borrow and no one pay? How come? How come people like meddle in others' affairs? How come people like take what is not theirs? How come people can't finish what they start? How come so many families are falling apart? How come when you run joke, people take it to heart? How come people don't want it?
All right, and that, of course, is just a tease of what people can see on the DVD itself. So, of course, you can get it at the Image Factory, and we want to thank you for stopping in, Grandmaster and Yasser.
Thank you.
You know, it's congratulations on what you have done and what we expect you to do as well in the future. And yeah, this has been a great conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the World Scout Jamboree. So stay tuned.
Fasten your seatbelt. We are about to take off. Definitely we encounter turbulent and controversial poetry. So welcome to my world. Leroy Young, aka Grandmaster, the Bin Laden of poetry in Belize. You see, my poetry is the big lie that make them see the truth. How come? How come when you need help, you can't get on? How come when you need police, none of the wrong? How come you struggle to rise up and you're easily brought down? How come? How come? How come the majority live in poverty and the minority